We said we were going to go to CES. Well, I did. And wow, was it overwhelming. Just going there was overwhelming. Coming back has been overwhelming. And I apologize. I tried to get a video out sooner, but it's just been swamped with doing all this stuff. Where do I begin? First of all, I live in San Diego and I always go to Comic-Con, and going to CES is how I've always wanted Comic-Con to be, because I'm not so much into the comics, I'm into the electronics. But when I went to CES, oh man, it just blew my it was huge. It was gigantic, and there's all sorts of tech gadgets. There's every tech company you can think of was there. The booths they set up were absolutely unbelievable. Now, the problem we ran into is that we were not prepared for the sheer amount of size of what CES had to offer. And because of that, we were not able to film half as much as what we wanted to. We had to there's points where we just had to drop the cameras and just look around and just suck it all in. We definitely know better for next year that we know what to expect, and we can go through it and take some better video and photos for you guys out there. LG have this big old wall where they had a bunch of TVs, curved OLED TVs, hundreds of TVs on that wall. I can't imagine the setup they went through. And Samsung also had this big city looking like type booth set up, and they had all sorts of TVs, gadgets. They had cars in there to show off some tech, and it was incredible. Sony was there. They had a big old screen set up at the end of their booth, and then they had like these architects set up. Just the setup alone was amazing. And then they had all their technology. I saw there was these holographic signs that I saw there that you set them up in a whole array of bunch of signs, and then they spin, and when they spin they made this 3D holographic image. It was quite awe-inspiring to see that. That was is incredible. I saw a whole bunch of weird things too, like flashlights that have a camera on it that have also a GSM chip in it so that you can make phone calls with a big old touchscreen on the side of a flashlight. The Chinese, they come out with the weirdest things. It's so cool to see. Speaking of Chinese, there's a bunch of Chinese booths there with companies you've never, ever heard of. And you probably would never hear of them until going to CES and checking out those booths. ZTE was there. I wasn't never sure of how big of a company ZTE really was until I saw their booth. They had a big booth set up with these TVs and a mirror-like thing. It was incredible. You would never think ZTE was that big of a cell phone company, but they are. In fact, ZTE is actually the 4th largest cell phone producer in the world. Did you know that? I didn't know that. They sell in China, they sell in other parts of the world that we are not really connected to, and you don't have to sell in America to be the biggest in the world. I mean, there are other countries that have far more people than us, and man, they are big. They got money out there. They have $40 phones. They got more expensive, higher end phones, and we're hoping to try to get some of their phones here and check them out, because we had no idea they were that big. I'm really curious to see how well their phones perform compared to other Android phones here. Panasonic, I would definitely say, had the biggest booth there. A lot of people would say it's Samsung. I don't know about that. I have some pictures I could show you. There's this big drum looking thing in this picture, and you can see that there's a guy standing next to it, and how big that is compared to the guy. It's almost like a giant water tower. They had 6 of those set up in a row, and then down below they have another 3 of them. Sorry, 3 stacked on top, 3 stacked on the bottom, total of 6. And there's just massive. I have a video I could show you inside of one of those, just on the bottom. One of those is that big. That's a massive, massive booth. It's unbelievable. I even got lost inside of CES at one point. I went over to see Sony, and I was talking to the guys there. I said, okay, cool, yeah, it's nice to see you. So I decided to walk back and out. I was gonna go head over to South Hall. And so I knew my way. I was just walking down, saw all these other booths, Nikon, whatever, and made some turns. And I was like, okay, go straight this way, and then I'll be on my way out. As I'm walking, I start to stop, and I notice, I go, I'm back at Sony. I walked in a full circle. Didn't even realize that I did that. FLIR was there. We went and saw the FLIR E8 that we unboxed and tried that out over at their booth. They had a cool VR demo going on, showing off how you could use these cameras in a real life situation. There was lots of drones. Lots and lots of drones, lots of VR. There was VR and drones put together there. They even had underwater drones. They had every vast array of any kind of drone, any kind of VR experience you could ask for. That was all at CES. They had the new HTC Vive they were showing off that has better resolution, better headset strap that's on there with 3D audio speakers. We hope to be getting one of those and do a review on that for you guys as well. And guess what booth was right next to the FLIR booth? The US Post Office. What? I have no idea what they were trying to do there. That just kind of blew my mind. I mean, you're at a consumer electronics show, and anything that the post office has is not a consumer electronic. Besides trying to deliver them, I guess. I think that was their whole deal, was trying to deliver packages for consumers. It was a little confusing. I definitely did not expect it. They had a big booth. Seemed like a lot of money they put into there, especially for being in debt. I don't know, guys. It didn't seem right to me, you know. And then right next to those guys was also Furrion. Now, I've never heard of Furrion, and I'm sure most of you guys haven't either. But they've been doing a lot of things for technology inside of motorhomes, and they're trying to really expand their business. They're trying to get into, they had some concept motorhomes there. They had one with like a helicopter on top of it. They had a semi-truck. They had kitchen appliances as well that they're trying to get into. But on top of all that, what they just started selling that week at CES were these consumer electronics, Bluetooth speakers, and it had like a backup camera and some other knickknacks. And we're trying to get into contact with them and try to get some of that here for you guys as well to show you what they have to offer. Again, they're called Furrion. Never heard of them. Sure, you guys have not either. LG also had this really cool rollable screen. It was this box about that, I don't know how big. It was big. And it was about box about that kind of size around, and it had a screen in there that would roll out like a projector, but instead of top down, this would go from the bottom up. You could roll it out and you have your whole TV screen. It's an Ultra HD screen, OLED, and you can watch your TV, but also when you're not watching TV in the living room, you can have it rolled down to about quarter height or so, and have it as your notification bar to tell you your weather and all sorts of other information like that. I've never seen anything like that. It's a really cool concept. There's lots of robotics there as well. We hopefully can get into contact with some other robotic companies. We got this really cool one that can transform and stuff like that. We hope to show you. There was other robots, ones that go in factories, that they had two of them set up with a conveyor belt, and they kept picking up these packages and just setting them to the other conveyor belt. The other robot would do the same, and did that all day long. They had other robot type machines that rolled around the floor. I'm not even 100% sure what they did, but they had them. And also there was some fun stuff, like BMW was there. They had some souped up BMWs in the parking lot. You could stand in line and go for a 3-lap drift course with a professional driver and just scare the crap out of you. It was just absolutely phenomenal. It was amazing what they had there at CES. Well, my first CES experience was absolutely incredible. Like I said, I was way overwhelmed, way in over my head, did not know what to expect. There was just way too much going on. But now that I had taken it in, I can see what I need to do for next year to get a better video out there for you guys and better exposure and show you some cool products that they had out there. But man, I'm definitely going again, of course. Maybe me and Steve could be there next year for this. That'd be awesome. Me and him could go around making cool videos for you guys. Well, if there's anything else that you guys would want us to check out at CES for next year, or if there's anything we missed at CES, please let us know down below in the comments, and we'll make a special effort to go out for those things and check them out for you guys, and just to show you what CES has to offer. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.